lot of teams right now in a position where they need to get the draft right. So in your opinion, which team in this year's draft has the smallest margin for error and really just has to get it right this year?
Ooh, that's an interesting question. The first one that popped into my mind is the Bucks, and I don't know. I mean, it depends on what the Bucks hope to get out of acquiring Tom Brady. They might win, quote unquote, merely by being relevant, by being a focus, by being a team that everybody wants to watch and pay attention to, by giving a little bit of swagger and interest to a team that just hasn't really been in the mix in recent years. And with Tom Brady's age, if they want to take advantage and actually win some games and be in the hunt, they got to make sure that they fill up the holes that they've got, particularly at offensive line. If they can't protect what will be 43-year-old Tom Brady, going to be an unfortunate season there. I would also say, the Houston Texans got to get some stuff right if Bill O'Brien's going to stick around. The focus on him, the spotlight on him for that DeAndre Hopkins trade, for now being in such a position of power as both coach and GM, if they don't get some pieces and use this offseason in a positive enough way to be a contender again next year, it will be very clear that they spent this offseason going the wrong direction, and I think that will mean a big overturn with that team. I mean, the Saints, obviously, you still try to take advantage of Drew Brees in his last couple of years. The Rams, I think the pressure's on to prove that last year was an anomaly and not the direction they're headed in after making it to the Super Bowl, sinking a bunch of money into a couple guys, including Gurley, who's no longer there. Whether they can get themselves back to the team that, we thought was going to be contending for a couple years, or whether that was more of a fluke and Goff and others have been overspent on. Baltimore Ravens are an interesting one, kind of surprisingly great last year. I'm very interested to see if Lamar Jackson can be MVP type guy again, or if other teams start to figure him out, and if the job for that coaching staff and that team becomes more and more difficult the longer other teams have to look at him. So I would say that. I mean, Cleveland Browns are up there too. I mean,
yeah,
last year's hype and last year's result to that hype was such a disappointment. If Baker Mayfield doesn't start to figure out how to be more accurate, if the new coach doesn't use Odell Beckham Jr. in better ways so that he's not just a decoy for Landry, that all that goodwill that they earned, I think goes downhill pretty quick, and that's a team that needs to get a couple more W's and give its fan base something. It's something I talked about 2 seasons ago with them. I said I'm excited that they're off the schneid, not winning one game or no games a year, but I'm worried that the fan base has gone from being thankful for that first couple wins to expecting playoffs and Super Bowl, and they're going to be so disappointed and won't even enjoy the sort of middle ground, and that's kind of what happened. So I'm interested to see what happens with them.